The first way of inputting data we are going to cover is by manual entry. Although we usually get data from external data sources in the form of files, manual data entry is often used to set the values of process variables or parameters. Also, it is always good to know how to manually enter data into our system. For the purpose of this example, we are going to input the details of these two customers manually. So let's open Spoon and let's do it. The first thing that we have to do is go to File and start a new transformation. Now manually the data is entered using the data grid step. You can find this step in the input category. You can either double click on this or drag and drop this onto your canvas. To configure this step, we have to double click on it. And when you double click on it, this window pops up. The first thing that you will see is the name of the step. It is written as data grid and this is what it is showing here also. You can rename it to anything that you like so that the name gives you the information and clearly indicates what this step is doing in your process. So you can name it as manual input. Now below that you can see there are two tabs. One is named Meta and the other is Data. The Meta tab contains the metadata of a dataset. Metadata tells us about the structure of the data, which includes name of all the fields or variables and information related to those fields. For example, for our dataset of customers, in this first column, we need to mention the name of all the variables that we have in our data. And these are the variable names: customer ID, customer name, segment, age, country, city, state, postal code, and region. So these 9 variables that we note for each customer are the metadata of this dataset. Apart from the variable name, metadata also includes what is the type of the data. For example, age is an integer type of data, whereas customer name is a string type of data. Also note that although postal code looks like integer type of data, but it is not really an integer. You cannot say that this number is greater than this number, nor can you add or subtract these numbers. It won't make any sense if you subtract this postal code from this postal code. So these should not be considered as numbers. Therefore, we will store the postal code also as a string type of variable. Apart from the name and type, you can also see other type of information such as format. Format is used to specify the way in which we want to see the data. For example, if we have date type of data, it can be stored in DDMMYY format or also in MMDDYYYY format. So that format can be specified here. Length is used to specify the maximum length of the field. Precision is only for numeric fields. It is used to specify the precision digits. Currency is used to specify the symbol for the currency, such as dollar or euro or rupee. Decimal is used to specify the decimal symbol. Usually it is a dot, but sometimes we see comma also. And these other two columns are very rarely used. So I'll let you know about these when the time comes. So usually we will fill these 4 columns only: name, type, format and length. Even format is very rarely filled, only when there is date type of variables, and sometimes when there is number type of data, then also we can specify format to specify if you only want to see 1 or 2 decimal points. Otherwise, we need not specify the format also. So let's do it for our example. We have to enter the customer data. So the first field is customer ID. It is string type, and the length we'll keep for it is 10 characters. Then we have customer name, which is also string type, and we'll keep 50 characters for this. Then we have segment, this is also string. And we have 20 characters for it. Then there is age. Now, although age is an integer type of variable, but right now I'll be storing it as string. So as I have told you, we'll be collating data from several different sources, and some of those sources may have some error in the age data. So for example, if a customer has stored 20 as TWENTY instead of 20, in such a situation, we will not be able to collate the data, because all the streams of data should have the exact same field types and field lengths when we are joining them. So right now I am keeping age as string type only with a length of 10. And later on we will change this age variable to integer type. After age we have country. You can also choose string from this drop down. I have been manually entering it, but you can choose it using the drop down also. For country we have 25 characters. Then state. Then city, which is string, 50 characters. State, string, 50 characters. Postal code, string, 10 characters. And lastly, region, which is also string with 10 characters. So this is the metadata of the actual data set. It contains the variable names, the type of each variable, and some information about that particular type. So if it is a string, we need to mention length. If it is a decimal type data, then we need to mention the precision also. Once we have specified the metadata, we have to specify the data. When you move to the data tab, you will be able to see the variable names on top of the table. These are the variable names that you have specified in the metadata. Now let's enter the details of the two customers. You'll find this Excel file in the resources. You can copy this data from this Excel file also, or you can enter this data along with me. So it is CG -12520 clear GOOT consumer segment age 67 United States belongs to Henderson. State is Kentucky. Postal code is 42420 and the region is South. Now the next customer has customer ID of DV-13045 Darim Van Huff Corporate, (31 years old), United States, Los Angeles, California, 90036 and West. So these are the two records that we want to enter manually. Once you have written all of this, click on the preview button just to ensure that the entered data is looking correct. You can see that our table has the 9 variables, and within each variable we have the data that we have entered, and the data is looking okay. Now we can click on OK, and this manual input step will now give out these 2 rows of data. That's all in this video. In the next video, we will input data from a text file.